Today we're diving into the 2023 film It Boy, a story about a woman who tried to play the game of love to save her career, only to realize she was the one being played by her own heart. Meet Alice. At 38, she is the definition of tightly wound. She's the editor of a high-end fashion magazine, and if a shade of pink is even 1% off on the front page, she's ready to tear the office apart. She's currently in Brazil, wrapping up a shoot, but her mind is already back in Paris. Why? Because while she's away, her workplace rival, Lise, is busy whispering in the boss's ear. Alice calls her friend Pauline to check the temperature of the office, and the news isn't good. Lise is practically glued to their boss, Vincent, and when Alice demands to speak to him, the blinds in his office are already drawn. The corporate shark is circling, and Alice is miles away. On the flight back to Paris, Alice's luck doesn't get any better. She's stuck next to a middle-aged guy who thinks creepy is a personality trait. Desperate to escape his unwanted advances, Alice spots a teenage boy whose seat was double-booked. The flight attendant moves him to first class, right next to Alice. In a move of pure desperation, Alice literally drags the kid into the seat just to block the creepy guy from sitting there. The boy's name is Balthazar. He's 19, full of energy, and clearly thrilled to be in first class. Alice, ever the professional ice queen, is initially annoyed by his sheer existence. But then, the plane hits massive turbulence. The cabin shakes, the lights flicker out, and suddenly, the uptight editor is a terrified human being. In the dark, she reaches out and grabs Balthazar's hand for dear life. It's a brief moment of genuine connection, but as soon as the wheels touch the ground, Alice is back to her cold self. She rushes off the plane, unaware that she's dropped a vital flash drive. Balthazar sees it, grabs it, and literally chases her car down the street, but she's already gone, lost in the chaotic streets of Paris. Back at the office, the nightmare begins. Lise is already sitting in Alice's chair, metaphorically speaking. When Alice confronts her boss, Vincent, he drops a bombshell. He tells her she's becoming obsolete. He calls her uptight, uninhibited, and the ultimate insult in the fashion world, predictable. He points out that Lise is daring. She's been married 3 times to men and women, and she lives life on the edge. Alice? Alice hasn't had a date in 8 years since her divorce and lives for her spreadsheets. Vincent suggests she move to a mommy magazine so she can spend more time with her daughter Zoe. It's a death sentence for her career. Fuming and desperate, Alice realizes she's lost her flash drive. She finds a note from Pauline with Balthazar's number. She calls him, and he tells her to meet him at a bar during happy hour. When she arrives, it's loud, messy, and full of students. Balthazar is there, looking like the opposite of everything Alice stands for. There's a bit of a mix-up. He doesn't have the drive on him, it's at his house. But as they leave the bar together, something happens that changes everything. 2 of Alice's co-workers see her. They see the unapproachable Alice Snyder standing outside a dive bar with a boy half her age. Balthazar helps her put on a motorcycle helmet, and from a distance, the angle makes it look like they're sharing a passionate kiss. Click. A photo is taken. Within minutes, it's on Twitter with the caption "The Cougar." The next morning, the office is buzzing. Alice is mortified, thinking this is the final nail in her professional coffin. But then, Vincent walks in. He's beaming. He loves it. He thinks Alice has finally found her rebel spirit. He tells her that dating a younger man aligns perfectly with the magazine's new daring direction. Alice is stunned. Her friend Simon pulls her aside and gives her a cynical piece of advice. Don't deny it. Lean into it. If you want to keep your job, you need to be the woman in that photo. And so, the game begins. Alice swaps her professional blazers for something a bit more suggestive. She tracks Balthazar down at his architecture college. The poor kid is shocked but absolutely thrilled to see her. When she asks him to an art exhibition, he thinks he's won the lottery. To prepare, Alice even interrogates her daughter Zoe about cool bands so she can speak Gen Z. It's pathetic, but it's working. At the exhibition, the contrast between them is hilarious. Alice is trying to network with Claude, a pretentious artist, while Balthazar is busy playing with interactive art pieces like a kid in a playground. When Claude asks for an honest opinion, everyone else fawns over him. Not Balthazar. He gives a brutally honest, insulting review that sends the artist stomping away. Alice is horrified, but she realizes something: no one in her world ever tells the truth. Balthazar is the only real person in the room. But Alice has a mission. She sees Lise across the room and starts performing. She's touchy-feely with Balthazar, hoping her boss will see. Lise approaches, sensing a rat, and offers Balthazar a joint. He refuses, but Alice, trying to prove how edgy she is, snatches it and takes a massive hit. Big mistake. Later that night, Alice is supposed to go on a blind date with a gynecologist named Richard, set up by her sister. She's high as a kite, stumbling around, and when Balthazar overhears a phone call about a doctor, he thinks her daughter is in the hospital. In a moment of pure reckless chivalry, Balthazar jumps in front of a taxi, drags the passenger out, and forces Alice inside so she can save her daughter. Alice watches him through the back window, a small genuine smile forming. The boy is a disaster, but he's a brave disaster. The dinner with Richard, however? A total train wreck. Alice is still high, talking nonsense, and realizes she's much more interested in the boy on the pink Hello Kitty scooter than the doctor with a stable career. The stakes get higher. There's a major runway show coming up, and Alice brings Balthazar as her date. She's dressed to kill, determined to impress the big boss of the entire company, Kimmel. Balthazar, however, is a loose cannon. He loudly asks who Kimmel is, and when a model trips on the runway, he doesn't just watch, he leaps onto the stage to rescue her. The room goes silent. Everyone is staring. Kimmel asks, "Is this part of the show?" At the after-party, Alice tries to play it off. She drags Balthazar to the dance floor, trying to look sensuous and uninhibited. But Lise is smart. She whispers to Vincent that the whole thing is a stunt, a fake relationship to save Alice's job. To prove her wrong, Alice has to take things further. When they get back to her house, the air is thick with tension. Balthazar, who genuinely likes her, leans in for a kiss. Alice, caught between her lie and a growing, confusing attraction, invites him in. They spend the night together. The next morning, reality hits. It's raining, and Alice feels a pang of guilt. She lets him stay, and he finds a book she wrote years ago, a project she abandoned when she became a workaholic. They're standing in a compromising position when Alice's sister and daughter walk in. Panic mode. Alice introduces Balthazar as her intern. She shoves him out the door, but not before he steals a quick kiss. For the next few days, it's a whirlwind. Balthazar is doing things no adult man has done for her in years. He leaves her sweet notes, gives her an iPod with a curated playlist. In bed one night, he asks her, "Why me?" Alice is about to tell him the truth, that he was a pawn in a corporate game, but he dismisses the question before she can speak. He's happy. She's happy. But the lie is growing like a shadow. Back at work, Alice is a changed woman. During a meeting, Lise is pitching safe ideas, but Alice interrupts with a pitch that shocks everyone. She talks about transcending stereotypes. She owns the Cougar label and suggests the next issue focus on fantasies and breaking social norms. The boss is ecstatic. Alice has her mojo back. But that night, looking in the mirror, she sees the wrinkles around her eyes and the youth in Balthazar's face. She realizes that in 10 years, she'll be 50 and he'll be 30. The math doesn't work. She meets Balthazar at a futuristic building he loves. He's an architecture student, after all. He pours his heart out, telling her how he can't stop thinking about her. It's beautiful, and it breaks her heart. Alice tells him they can't continue. She uses the age gap as an excuse, telling him it's best for both of them. She breaks his heart to save him from the truth. But the corporate world isn't done with them. Kimmel, the company owner, loved the boy from the runway. She demands that Balthazar be the lead model for the new campaign. Vincent tells Alice, "If you want the promotion, get your boyfriend for the shoot." Alice is backed into a corner. She calls Balthazar, but he's gone into a spiral of depression, surrounded by beer bottles and junk food. When she shows up at his house, his father, who is also dating a much younger woman, tries to cover for him, pretending to be the drunk one. Alice eventually convinces Balthazar to do the shoot, pretending it's for them. The day of the shoot is a disaster. The photographer is a nightmare, and Balthazar is clearly miserable. Then, Alice's friend Simon pulls Balthazar aside and thanks him for helping Alice get the promotion. He says, it was a genius idea of hers. The silence that follows is deafening. Balthazar realizes the entire relationship, the dates, the sex, the connection, was just a strategy for a promotion. He explodes in front of the entire crew, confronting Alice. The truth is out. Balthazar walks off set, and Alice's world crumbles. Vincent, seeing the drama has gone too far, fires her on the spot. He tells her she's thrown away 10 years of friendship for a lie. Alice is left with nothing. No job, no reputation, and no Balthazar. She spends days moping, finding his little notes tucked in trees and behind mirrors. She looks at the book she never finished and realizes that Balthazar didn't just give her a fake relationship, he gave her her soul back. She decides to do something daring for real this time. She goes to Balthazar's college. She gets mistaken for a guest lecturer and ends up at the front of a crowded hall. Balthazar is in the audience, glaring at her. Alice starts talking about infrastructure, but it's clearly a metaphor for their relationship. She admits she screwed up. She admits she's a coward. The students start to catch on, whispering and eventually clapping. Balthazar stands up and asks her what this really means. Alice doesn't answer with words. She walks down and kisses him in front of everyone. Months later, we see a new Alice. She didn't get her old job back. She started something new with Simon. She's at the printing press, looking at a finished copy of her new book. It's inspired by her time with Balthazar. She meets him outside, and as they kiss, you realize that while the world might look at them and see a scandal, they just see two people who found exactly what they needed in the most unexpected place. But it makes you wonder, if you had to choose between the career of your dreams and a love that everyone told you was wrong, which one would you burn down to save the other? Let me know in the comments if Alice made the right choice, or if Balthazar should have stayed far away from the corporate shark. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.